A beautiful night in Indianapolis. Available on ESPN HD. It is Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals. From Conseco Fieldhouse, where the Pacers lead 1-0. The Pistons hoping to steal one. The fans cheering their hero that decided Game 1 and looking at the man that promised tonight would be a different story. More than 47 minutes into Game 1. Tie ball game. Pistons hoping to steal home court advantage. Setting the scene for the greatest clutch shooter of all time. With 31.7 on the clock, Reggie Miller got his half second. Here's the three. Got it! Sealing the win for Indiana. Tonight, two teams, 48 minutes, and no one will be letting up early. It's the Pistons and the Pacers Eastern Conference Finals, Game 2. Over 18,000 with towels that say rock the house. Detroit hoping to head back to the Motor City even at a game apiece. Welcome, everybody. Brad Nessler with Doc Rivers, Michelle Tafoya, and Jim Gray will join us shortly. Well, 2 nights ago, Doc, a 4-point win for the Pacers. You look at statistics in that ball game, they shot 34%. They were out-rebounded. How the heck they win the game?
They did all the little things. You know, sometimes when things aren't going well for you offensively, you have to make all the hustle plays to win a basketball game. If you look at the numbers, they forced turnovers all night, -8. Big advantage for the Pacers. Points off turnovers, a +14. Free throws made. They attacked the basket. There's no saying if you can make more free throws than the other team takes, then you're going to win the game because you're playing hard and you're doing all the little things, and that's the reason they won that game. Let's start by looking at the little guys. No one talked about Jeff Foster before the game, but he was huge in the game by making all the little plays. This extra play allowed Reggie Miller to get that half-a-second look that gave him the three that won the game. Little plays is what won the game.
Well, Detroit, how can they turn it around tonight to try to go back home even?
Well, number one, they can't turn the ball over. They really feel that they let a game get away.
Right.
So they feel if they take care of the ball, get Rasheed Wallace involved on the post, that they can win this game this evening.
Well, Rasheed's going to have to be involved because he's the guy that's talked the most about this game as we take a look at the Bud Light starting lineups. Up front, Tayshaun Prince, Rasheed Wallace, and Ben Wallace. Ron Artest, Jermaine O'Neal, and Jeff Foster for Indiana. And the backcourts, huge advantage in points the other night for the Detroit Pistons with Rip Hamilton and Chauncey Billups. But it really didn't matter when it came down to Miller time. It was Reggie that hit the big shot that won it. Jamal Tinsley, the point man for the Pacers. Bennett Salvatore, Jim Clark, and Tom Washington, the officials. Game 2, the Pistons hoping to even it before we head to the Motor City 2 days from now. And we're underway in front of the sellout crowd of 18,000 plus. Tinsley feeds Artest in low.
See, that's what you're going to see all evening from the Pacers. They made a point in Game 1 of attacking the basket. They felt that they can get to the basket, they can call fouls, they can get guys in foul trouble, and they would become the aggressor. That's exactly what happened.
Chauncey Billups, who had a sensational first half the other night, tried to go up, had his shot blocked. Rasheed Wallace misses from the elbow, and it's out of bounds to the Pacers.
You know, it's funny. Chauncey Billups had a great game. He had great numbers, but not the way the Pistons wanted them. They believe that he can get a shot whenever he wants to, but if he does it too early in the offense, then no one else is playing. So they want to go in to out instead of starting from the outside.
Reggie Miller for 3, off the mark.
That was a heat check
just
from the last game.
You know, I didn't see him warm up tonight.
No, it was really unusual, and he's really superstitious. So he warmed up big time before Game 1.
And went 0 for 6 until it was money time.
Until it was money time. So this time he's going to reverse that.
Wallace, great feed from Rasheed, but Ben missed in close. And Foster saved it.
Well, those are little buckets, and you know what Larry Brown is thinking. that is like a turnover. You know, it'll go down as a missed bucket, but when you get a wide open layup and miss it, and the other team gets the ball back, that's a turnover.
O'Neal mishandles it. And we've got a foul underneath. Let's check in with Michelle Tafoya.
Well, Brad, you alluded to it. Right after losing game one, Rasheed Wallace guaranteed, quote, "I'm guaranteeing game two. The Pacers will not win game two." Now, he repeated that at practice yesterday, and while guarantees are usually a hot topic, neither his teammates nor his coach have been too upset about it. Larry Brown saying before the game tonight, look, I think we have to win this game. He's a guy who cares about the team and felt bad about the loss in game one. And the Pacers have also had a reaction. For more on that, let's check in with Jim Gray.
All right, thank you, Michelle. Well, I spoke to Rick Carlisle, and he spoke to his team about that guarantee before the game. He said he wanted them to be aware of it, and he also said it has our attention. Now that it has our attention, he said, I like the way we've responded. Wallace misses it.
Ben Wallace misses the jam and picks up his second foul in the process.
And the second foul is huge. Absolutely huge. What they're going to say is he cleared out with the opposite arm. I got to tell you, that's a bad call.
Ben Wallace has one foul. Rasheed Wallace picked up the earlier one. O'Neal leaves it out to Miller as he slips. Reggie on a flying 15-footer. Can't get it to drop, and neither team can find it in the first 2 minutes.
No, they really can't. And it's funny, if you watch the game thus far, it started out a lot like game one. Detroit has had all the good shots so far. They haven't made them. Every shot's been very difficult for Indiana, but they're doing what they did before. They're going to the foul line because they're attacking the basket. Detroit has to find a way of attacking the basket a little bit more and getting to the foul line. Now, they've attacked it twice,
they have,
but they've come up 0 for 2 in both efforts.
Reggie Miller hits the first point of the ball game. He actually missed a free throw in a two-shot situation late in the ball game the other day, and Larry Brown said, I think he was just trying to have the agony go a little longer that we were going to lose the ball game.
Well, the locusts come around every once out of 17 years.
That's right.
So he can miss a free throw, too.
It was a cicada free throw, huh? Yeah.
Exactly.
Tayshaun Prince packs it down, gets it right back from Wallace, and he doesn't miss.
I'll tell you what, that's the third layup. Now, one was an offensive foul. One was a missed layup. The third one was a dunk. They're doing exactly what Larry Brown wants them to do. Be more patient, offensively, attack the basket.
Reggie Miller got an opening, knocked it down. So it's not a three, but his second field goal attempt of the night gives him all 4 of the Pacer points.
It's clear Reggie Miller has decided he was not aggressive enough in game one.
Rip Hamilton double team momentarily. Wallace on the baseline. Rasheed Wallace, that is. Rebound. Foster hands it off to Tinsley. Backdoor cut by Miller on the baseline. Tinsley got him the ball. Foster goes up. Wallace comes down with a rebound. He had 22 the other night. Oh, he wanted it there, too. They didn't get it to him.
When a big guy runs the floor, you should always look for him.
Phillips had it stripped by Artest, and now the outlet to Artest if he can shag it down. And blocked by Tayshaun Prince. Second try is short.
You know what was really nice? In game one, Tayshaun Prince went to the floor a lot because of the physicality of Ron Artest. They told him he had to stand up and be long. You can't be stronger than Artest, but you are longer than Artest, and that's what he just did on that block shot.
Big Ben lost it going up again, stripped. Third Pistons turnover. Tinsley challenging Rasheed Wallace.
Tinsley kept zigzagging. Rasheed Wallace never could find exactly where Tinsley was at.
Tinsley zigged when Rasheed was zagging.
He did.
Rip Hamilton looking for his first points. Prince keeps it alive on the backside. It's our test on Rasheed Wallace right now. We'll see him play as many as 3 guys tonight, probably. Now he's coming over to try to help on Ben Wallace, and there's a foul. And it's going to be on Ron Artest.
And again, we go back to turnovers. The one thing Indiana Pacers did in game 1. Now look at the zigzag. Rasheed could not find them, but what they're doing is scoring points off of turnovers. That's how you win games, Brad, if you're not going to shoot the ball well.
They got 21 points off the Pistons turnovers in game 1. In the postseason, or at least in the last couple of games we've seen.
Well, I found it interesting on that last play. You know, they know Rasheed Wallace wants to get involved in this game, so they're going to front him, they're going to deny him, they're going to make it very difficult. They almost allowed Ben Wallace to stand under the basket by himself before they were going to allow Rasheed Wallace to catch the ball.
Jermaine O'Neal. Wallace goes down as O'Neal goes baseline.
That's a tough matchup, and I never thought I would say that for Ben Wallace. But when Jermaine O'Neal gets it low on the post, it's a very difficult matchup for Ben Wallace.
We saw that the other night. And offensive foul. On Wallace. Ben, that is. And Larry Brown is upset. The whole team is.
Well, what they're arguing is that Foster was not out of the paint, and he wasn't. He was in the foul area. That should have been a block. Watch, he received it outside, in, should have been a block or a no call. You know, Ben Wallace right now is thinking, I get that call. I get the first call where they said I cleared out, and I actually missed him. So that's 2 calls that have gone against me that have probably been bad calls, and now I have to sit on the bench.
And he really let the officials know as he headed there, and he didn't get the technical, which is good for him.
And it's good for the officials. You know, they did a nice job of letting him vent. They know he's frustrated right now. They know it's a playoff game. They allowed it.
Artest to Tinsley, the extra pass. Missed a 3, and Rasheed Wallace a rebound. Pistons down 5 here with 6.5 to go in the first quarter. Only 3 Detroit points in their first 9 trips down court. And as we said, they had a couple golden opportunities that were missed underneath.
The one thing you can see that has been decided, Brad, early in this game, and I think it's a good move by the officials, is they're going to call it extremely close. That game got chippy, as you saw in game 1 towards the end. They don't want to carry over from that, so they're going to clean it up early. And now the players have to adjust. The officials have already showed you that everything is going to be close, going to be close calls.
Prince hits a free throw. Which team was the all-time champion? Jordan's Bulls versus Bird Celtics, and Wilt Sixers against Magic's Lakers. Cast your votes in the semifinal matchups. The all-time finals challenge on NBA.com.
Well, like I told you, Brett, I have my vote in on that. And since taking the Celtic job, I've changed my vote. That's all I'll say.
That was a business decision on your part. Artest around a pick, way off the mark. And Eldon Campbell was looking for Rip Hamilton to get the rebound, and it bounced off his shoulder. So there's 2 starters on the bench with 2 fouls. Ben Wallace for Detroit, Jamal Tinsley for the Pacers. Reggie got an opening, and he got the shot. And he's got 6 early.
I tell you right now, you watch this game, and there's Pistons on the floor on every possession. And I guarantee you, Larry Brown is seeing that also.
Now Johnson, who came in for Tinsley, gets tangled up with Billups, and he'll pick up the foul. Reggie Miller with 6. Working against Rip Hamilton. Got him to go down and got the shot to go down as well. Lead all scorers. He talked with us about playing against Rip Hamilton, and Rip Hamilton turned around and said, hey, you know what? I've learned a lot of what I've learned in this game from watching Reggie play ball.
You know, he's a guy that I look at that's pretty much my size, you know, loves to run off screens. But I never was great coming off screens until I actually, you know, got to college and got an opportunity to really pay attention to somebody like him. At first, I hated to guard him. I hated it because I felt like I was chasing myself. I know it wasn't just tough for me. I know it was tough for him, too, because he got to chase me around, too. But, like, as I learned, you know, I mean, at first, when I first got in the lead, he killed me every time because I didn't know, you know, he got all the little tricks and all the little holding tactics. I always just get in foul trouble and everything like that. But I watched him. And, like I said, I think he's the godfather.
So many people compare Rip Hamilton's game to Reggie's game, the 17-year veteran, and, of course, the younger of the two in his 5th season. And Reggie says he's a mini-me.
Yeah, he really is. They play exactly alike. You think of Kiki Vanderway and Chris Mullen, other guys who played so well without the ball. I think the difference is right here that Rip is a little better with the ball in his hand than Reggie, and Reggie's a better three-point shooter than Rip.
No doubt about that. He's better than anybody's ever been at that. Artest tries from outside. Rasheed Wallace on a run off the glass. Battle for the rebound between he and O'Neal, and it's going to be out of bounds to the Pacers.
Yeah, it looks like Rasheed Wallace right now, he's obviously taking more shots. He only took 7 in game 1. Has to take more shots, but they have to be more quality shots. And like right now, it looks like he's pushing, stressing, quick shots a little too much instead of taking his time.
You know, when you do something like the guarantee that he's talked about, and we've talked about, and all of basketball's talked about for the last 2 days, do you tend to push too hard, or does that all go out the window as soon as you hit the wood?
No, you tend to press, especially if you miss your first couple. Now, again, we talked about in game 1, if you hear a whistle away from the ball, it's either Rip Hamilton or Reggie Miller involved because of their movement away from the bucket. And you just saw a foul because of those two guys moving.
Johnson and Miller, Foster, O'Neal, and Artest on the floor for the Pacers. Jermaine O'Neal had it stripped by Elden Campbell. Nice job defensively. The Pistons drought. They only have 2 field goals in the last 15 minutes now. They got 1 field goal in 7:45 of game 1, and here we are at the 4.5-minute mark, and they have 4 points. And now Campbell's stripped, but they're going to call a foul.
See, Brad, we were talking about in the break, you know, obviously they need Ben Wallace. But I really believe that Elden Campbell has to be an X factor in this series. The Pistons are looking for low post scoring. Elden Campbell's a player who has the ability to score on the low post. So even though Wallace is out, they have to go to Campbell and they have to go to Rasheed Wallace down low.
Reggie Miller will sit. Let's check in with Michelle as Campbell goes to the free throw line.
You guys talked about this game being called tightly. During the last time out, Larry Brown was urging his players not to think about the officiating. He said, we just got to play. Just forget those guys, referring to the refs. And he told Chauncey Billups and Tayshaun Prince in particular, don't think about getting fouled. Just go up and shoot, guys.
And it's a good move by Larry. What Larry's trying to get his guys to do is play. It's a fairly official game. They're going to do a great job. What you have to do is not worry about them and play. You know right now they're calling it tight, so understand that and play through that.
We've got over a minute without either team scoring. Artest works it around the perimeter. Harrington, who had the huge game 1 off the bench, gives it up to Tinsley with 2 on the shot clock. Hamilton got a piece of it, and he also got the rebound. Johnson stole it right back. Foster comes up. Those are the quick hands of Anthony Johnson, though.
He really is a crafty basketball player.
Artest will try the left baseline. He still can't find it from outside. He's become a much, much better outside shooter, but not in the early going of this one. O'Neal sends that one back from whence it came. That was a man dunk. A man block, rather. Whew. And Chauncey Billups with a steal, and now Rip says, catch me if you can this time. Boy, there's a lot of hand checks going on out here, and the ball's been loose the whole first quarter.
It really has. I mean, you know now why both of these two teams are great defensive teams. They play with energy, they hustle, they get back in transition.
And again, trying to strip that one. Campbell comes up with the foul. The second on Elden Campbell. So he came in for Ben Wallace, who had 2 early ones, and now Campbell hasn't been on the floor that long, and he has 2. Let's check in with Jim.
Hey, Brad, I spoke to Jermaine O'Neal to get his response about what Wallace had said in the guarantee. He said, It's added a whole lot of fuel to the fire. He said, I consider this a smack in the face to me and my teammates. It changes everything. He disrespected us, and he's disrespecting our team. He's saying we're not good enough to win this series. Not only this game, but he's saying we're just not good enough. Got a message for him. He's wrong.
These are the guys that are good buddies?
Yeah.
Well, right.
Those are the guys.
Rasheed's heading back to Detroit. He, in fact, asked him during dinner about basketball, Jermaine did. He said Rasheed wouldn't talk about basketball to him. He said, where are you going next year? And he said he shut him off like a member of the press. So he's treating everybody the same.
Everybody gets the same treatment, huh? Jermaine got them both.
You know what probably upsets the Pacers when a guy guarantees? Usually when you give a guarantee, you're on your home floor.
Yeah.
It's rare that you guarantee a game on the visitor's court. I guarantee you that Rick Carlisle brought that part of it up.
This is a home court where the Pacers haven't lost in the postseason, and they had the best record in the regular season in the Eastern Conference in this building. They lead by 6 right now.
I'm Keith Moody.
I'm Elizabeth Moody.
Newly married, 2.5 hours.
You're watching the NBA Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN.
They will not win game 2. And you heard that from me. Y'all print whatever the hell y'all want. Y'all put it front page, back page, middle of the page. They will not win game 2. Ain't no more to be said. We will win game 2.
Teammates have any react?
We will win game 2.
Rasheed's been known for some of those words of wisdom. In Atlanta, his one-day pit stop's the only place he hasn't made comments like that. But if you go back in the past, Rasheed has been known to have some of those wonderful words for all of us, especially all of us in the media. So with that in mind, we put together Master Sheet Theater, The Wisdom of Rasheed, Volume 1. For all of you that don't know what CTC means, that means cut the check. So as long as somebody cuts the check, it's gravy with me. Also, when he was with Portland, some people say I'm mean and this and that. On one hand, that's cool. That keeps away all the riffraff and the bugaboos.
Oh, the bugaboos.
Yeah. Then after one of the games, the Trailblazers, he just said 4 times both teams played hard. That was his quote for the media, and that was it. That's all they were getting.
Both teams played hard, man.
Both teams played hard, man. And then Volume 4 here in Detroit. You can put it on the front page, back page, middle page, wherever the hell you want to put it. They will not win game 2.
Wow. You know, if I
But you know what? He has no field goals in the last 33 minutes of play.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's where, if you're going to talk the talk,
you got to walk it.
You got to walk the walk.
Yeah, there you
There's
go.
a lot of time in this game, and I do think Rasheed is going to make a better effort at getting involved, especially down low in this game. He has to.
Great timing on the sign, exactly what you were talking about.
There's talk and there's walk, and this is nasty. Corliss Williamson in and out. Artest kept that one alive to his teammate O'Neal for the rebound. Little different lineup out there right now for the Pacers. Johnson in there with Tinsley having 2 fouls. He's running the point. O'Neal, baseline jumper, got it. 6 for O'Neal. And the lead swells to 8.
For a 7-foot player to do. Put the ball on the floor, going left, pull up jump shot is a difficult shot for a big.
Mike James in for Detroit. Along with Williamson, Rasheed Wallace from 17, in and out again. And Al Harrington the rebound. I was going to say Harrington, Artest, Bender, and O'Neal out there with Johnson.
That was a good shot for Rasheed. And you give him too many of those, he will be able to live up to that promise.
Bender lost the handle. He was trying to go up. It actually became a pass to Harrington, and then the ball went out of bounds. Let's check in with Michelle Tafoya.
Well, how about a little Larry Brown theater for you guys? During the last timeout, he's been saying to his players since game 1, share the ball, swing the ball side to side. And this is his quote. We ain't playing like a team. We're playing like a bunch of strangers. Again, he wants to see them sharing the ball, Doc.
Yeah, and what he's saying is, and you can see it, the Pistons, everybody on their team right now is trying to make it happen. You know, they're down 14-6. They're struggling scoring. But the way they have to score is by moving the ball from side to side. Right now, they're touching the ball. The first guy who touches is going one-on-one ISOing, and that's not Larry Brown basketball.
You know, one of the first things I thought of when Rasheed made those comments the other day, I thought, didn't Coach Smith teach him anything? That was kind of what I was thinking. And Larry Brown, of course, through the North Carolina basketball family. And there's Larry, and there's Coach Smith on the right.
You know, Larry Brown guaranteed a game on that night, and that's why Dean Smith is looking at it that way.
with his hands in his pockets
Yes.
and not looking very happy. The Carolina connection. Tinsley got one of two. And it is a 9-point lead. Wallace asking for it, got it, and still got a pretty good turnaround jumper and missed it. He hesitated and then missed again.
Didn't want that shot. He really didn't. I think he wanted to pass the ball, but he felt, you're 0 for 6 at the time. He went on and shot the ball because he was open, not because he wanted the shot. And now when you make a guarantee, you're going to have to listen to this.
And now he's asking the crowd for more noise as he walked to the bench.
Final minute 20 of quarter number 1. Artest trying to back down Rip Hamilton. He'll give it up. Johnson. Campbell with a rebound. The Pistons have 6 points with a minute remaining in the first quarter. Rasheed Wallace on the bench next to Ben Wallace now, and you heard the crowd react to him as he went to the bench. This is what the crowd got.
Well, Brad, I don't know if he needed to do that.
I don't know.
They were going to get on him anyway.
He's on his own.
You know what? That's fine. I think if you're Rasheed Wallace, you say, so what? I've already said it now.
Yeah, I've already said it, and I'm 0 for 6.
Yeah,
it's going to get better.
And now I'm going to have to live up to it. You know, right now what stands out to me with the Pistons is Rip Hamilton has really not been involved in the offense. And I think he is one guy that they can get off, and they must get off. I think they focus so much on pounding the basket, posting the ball, that they forgot about their best scorer on the team.
Memo Coor hit both free throws, and we're under a minute. 7-point Pacers lead. Bender. Wow, that was a long step, but he lost the handle. He's done that twice now. Once he had it stripped. That time it just took off his hand on its own. Good look. Campbell underneath. Great pass from Williamson.
See, Campbell is a factor, Brad, and he's playing some nice minutes right now. Now, as bad as things are, they're down 5 points in the first quarter.
No
the
big
Pistons
damage.
and Larry Brown have to be thrilled to death right now.
You talked about Eldon Campbell. In the regular season, he averaged 10 points and 5 rebounds in the series in the regular season matchup with Indiana. Artest 4 on the shot clock, got a 15-footer and knocked it down. That's his first basket.
Rip Hamilton just lost his footing with the help of Artest.
Yeah. So the final 20 seconds, no fouls to give either way, as the Pistons have one of the all-time low-scoring quarters in playoff history. And the crowd in Conseco letting him know it. Hamilton, 2-pointer for Rip.
Artest got caught playing zone defense instead of man-to-man defense on that. So Rip took up and got the shot.
Artest from midcourt. And the Pacers at home have the lead in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals. The Pistons tonight, 4 points from Hamilton. Rasheed Wallace and Chauncey Billups have yet to score. A low-scoring 12 minutes to say the least. But the Pacers on their home floor right now holding their home court by 5. Pacers by 5 as we're set to start the second quarter. Our aerial coverage courtesy of the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company and its fleet of airships, reminding you to enjoy the drive on Goodyear's new Assurance tires. Conseco Fieldhouse below the Goodyear blimp, a place where the Pacers have been pretty strong. Tribe 14 straight wins, 8 straight playoff victories, and in the regular season tied for second best in the NBA, but best in the Eastern Conference at 34-7 in this building. And it is a beautiful building. And a lot of folks here with those towels that say rock the house. Over 18,000, including a pretty good battery right there. Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison of the Indianapolis Colts. 2 of the All-Pros. Hey, Sam Perkins. Big Sam. Watching some big guys here in Jermaine O'Neal, some guys he played against like Eldon Campbell and Reggie Miller.
You see Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison, and you think point guard Peyton Manning, shooting guard Marvin Harrison.
Here's Eldon Campbell. Harrington with a rebound. So Tinsley stays on the Pacers bench to open the second quarter with those 2 fouls. Artest has not found his offensive game yet tonight. Harrington, 3 to shoot. Going to have to force one over Campbell, and Campbell did a nice job defensively.
Yeah, and they took way too long to get into their set.
Okur is going to try 3. What the heck? Got it.
Well, if the big guys can't make it down low, Brad.
Might as well go outside.
Okur promised before this game that you would see a different Okur also.
And now traps is Johnson. Detroit picking up the intensity on defense. They only trail by 2, despite the fact they have not scored much. Neither have the Pacers.
I mean, you look at Mimic Okur, he can make this shot.
Yeah.
He's very comfortable taking the three-point shot, and he made some comments after game 1 as well. Didn't guarantee anything, but he did guarantee that he would play better. He already has.
No doubt. He had 2 points and 3 rebounds the other night in game 1, and now already has the 3-pointer here in the second quarter. Bender has driven himself into some traffic several times tonight. Johnson lights it up from outside.
One thing Bender is doing, though, is attacking the basket. And that penetration is what allowed the three-point shot.
Corliss Williamson trying to muscle Bender inside. And he got it. Corliss Williamson's first basket. Artest on a runner. Hamilton the outlet to James. Let's see if he can beat Harrington to the hoop. And Okur follows with the slam, but they're going to call a foul.
Yeah, I think Okur would rather just have the tip in and let's call it a day. Again, Brad, the point has to be made. It's 17-20. The Pistons are down 3 points. They have to be thinking, wow, this is unbelievable because we have not played well if you're talking about the Pistons, and they're only down 3 points right now.
Same kind of story as game 1. 6 points in the first 11 minutes. But they can't let opportunities continue to slip away, even though it's early in this game. They let too many slip away the other night.
Yeah, they've let a bunch already. You know, they're missing free throws.
They're 4 out of 10
layups. Yeah. You know, 4 out of 10. So, you know, think about in game 1, they went to the free throw line 15 times.
Yeah.
They've gone to the line 10 times already, but they're not making the shots. They've missed 3 layups already.
Reggie Miller's back in the Pacer lineup. Harrington pushed off to get that rebound, and that's going to be his 3rd. And that's trouble for Rick Carlisle's bench. Harrington was so big the other night in game 1. In fact, he was the leading scorer at halftime. Ended up with 14 points, and now he's going to have to sit down, and Jermaine O'Neal will come back in. .5 to play first half. Brad Nessler, Doc Rivers, Michelle Tafoya, Jim Gray. Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Corliss Williamson is fouled by Bender.
You saw the energy from Indiana in that first 8 minutes of the first quarter. Now it's starting to change a little bit. You can start, you're looking at Detroit getting themselves emotionally back in the game. And they're really doing it right now with their bench. They have 1 starter on the floor. And now, you know, game 1, it was the Indiana bench that took over. Game 2 thus far, it's been the Detroit bench.
Nice pass by James to Okur. He's got Foster right on his hip. And And James gets to the loose ball.
Elton Campbell keeping it alive.
Now it's Campbell trying to twist his way to the baseline.
See, Elton Campbell and Mimic Okor are having an impact on this game because they're playing down low and being more physical and playing with energy and keeping the ball alive and causing fouls. You know, whenever a second line player can draw a foul from a first line player, that's significant. That's Elton Campbell drawing a foul on Jermaine O'Neal.
And that's Jermaine's second. Rasheed saying, hey, he's my buddy, but how about teeing him up? Corliss Williamson off the glass. So it's the Detroit bench.
O'Neal couldn't come over. He's worried about the foul. He has 2 fouls, so he had to allow that shot instead of staying aggressive. That's what fouls will do to a basketball team.
Rick Carlisle's seen enough. He calls a timeout. With 8:56 remaining in the first half, the Pistons right back in the thick of it. Their bench doing the job. They trail by only 1.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA Eastern Conference Finals. Brought to you by Coors Light. Unleash the Rocky Mountain cold taste of Coors Light. And Nissan, who invites you to shift the way you move through the world.
Kevin Frazier and Greg Anthony in Times Square studio. We check in on the French Open. A huge upset in the opening round. France's Jerome Anel, the 271st ranked player in the world, beat Andre Agassi in straight sets. What happened to your homeboy?
Maybe the biggest upset in the history of tennis. Andre Agassi, one of the 5 greats to ever play the game, Mike McQuaid.
That's a biased opinion from a guy from Vegas, gentlemen.
That's not.
I've never even heard of that guy before. Agassi knows him now. Indiana leads by 1 here in Indianapolis as we take a look at the McDonald's NBA brackets. Pacers trying to go 2-0 on their home floor. The Timberwolves look like a different team against the Lakers, who looked like they were disinterested last night. But that series is even at a game apiece now. And with that, of course, now that series will switch to Staples Center, where the Lakers have been so tough. And with that in mind, we'll be back 2 nights from now, but so will the folks at TNT with the Western Conference Finals. Tomorrow night, Game 3, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, and then Game 4 Thursday at 9 o'clock between the Wolves and the Lakers with our friends at TNT.
It would be nice one time for the Lakers to lose, and someone said the other team actually played well.
Yeah, I know. You mentioned that to me today. It's always that they don't play well, right?
Yes.
Reggie Miller hung in the air a little too long, and Rip Hamilton stayed with him, and he missed from the free throw line. Reggie already has those many points as he had all of the other night. All 6 of his came in the first quarter. Well, we talked about the Pacers in closing out Miami. They shot under 33%. In the win in Game 1, they shot under 34%. They're shooting about 27 right now, maybe a little less, and they're still up by 1.
Yeah, and that's because, again, their extra play in the first quarter. Now it's the Pistons, to me, who are doing all the other things, and they're about to get themselves a lead.
There it is. First lead. And it comes from Rip Hamilton. Got a nice screen and knows what to do with them. So the Pistons lead by 1 as O'Neal goes baseline, and Okura has had something to say in this first half. He's done a nice job off the Detroit bench. Corliss Williamson cutting to the basket. He draws a foul. Let's check in with Jim.
Hey, Brad, before the game, I spoke to Rick Carlisle in his office, and he said he thought tonight's games would be in the 60s, that the winning team would have a 6 in front of it. Said it would be much more difficult, he felt, tonight for teams to score, having made the adjustments from Game 1. At this point, he may have overshot the total.
He might have.
Yeah, he really may have. I mean, this is what happens, though. When you get 2 running teams like Sacramento and Dallas, you get 120-120. When you get 2 defensive teams, you get a defensive game, and that's what we have to get used to and see. Again, I don't think it's ugly basketball. I think it's hard played. You know, it's something to be said that when you score, everyone celebrates, because that's how tough it is to score.
Well, already the Pistons are at the line of the penalty with 8:03 left in the half, but they're not making the free throws count. Finally, they get one to drop. That's the first one they've hit this quarter.
But, you know, you look at the Pistons again, Brad, and there's a reason that 4 of the bench players are on the floor, and it has nothing to do with fouls. Larry Brown is going to stay with the group that's playing well right now, and right now that's his bench plus Rip Hamilton.
Artest missed a 3, but Foster with the offensive rebound gets it back to Artest. Now O'Neal is fouled and 1. And that's 3 on Campbell.
See, and Campbell has played terrific. And now Larry Brown has to make a decision. Again, this is just like a turnover, a second shot, and now a 3-point possibility.
Jermaine O'Neal, 8 points to lead the Pacers in scoring right now. And he talked that one in. So Indiana goes back in front with 7:40 remaining in the half. James thought about a 3. Tried to get a streaking Rip Hamilton, but Foster's quick hands forced the turnover. Reggie Miller, a 3 en route, got it! He might be getting older, but this never gets old to watch.
No, it doesn't. And I don't think you're going to see Reggie Miller taking shots before games anymore, because he came out pretty aggressive this evening, and he is really feeling it.
With 7:07 left in the half, Pacers. Larry Bird just saw his 38-year-old star, who's one of the greatest clutch shooters of all time, knock down a 3 that knocked down the house again. And where does Reggie rank in all of it? Well, he's hit more three-pointers in the playoffs and more three-pointers overall than any other player in the history of the game. Reggie Miller, 293 with that last one. 2,738 points in the playoffs, 9th all-time free throw shooter. And as I mentioned, all-time leader with over 2,400 career three-pointers in regular season play. James got one to go. Boy, that thing just died on the rim.
Well, there was some snow on the top of that ball.
He really got it up there, didn't he?
He put it up in the air. You know what I get asked the most about Reggie Miller is, how does he get open so much? I mean, we all know he can shoot. Who is leaving him every game?
O'Neal missed a 15-footer. And Foster, another offensive rebound. Well, like Rip Hamilton said in that cut that we had earlier, he's sneaky. Reggie's got all the tricks, and he knows how to get open.
He does. He has all the tricks, and he also knows where to play and where to float and where to spot up. And the guys with the ball also know where he's going to be.
Right.
So they're always looking for him. And like he said before the game, if you give me a half a second, that's all I need. The fan favorite, Rasheed Wallace, is entering back in the game.
Tayshaun Prince came back in as well. Tinsley back at the point guard spot for the Pacers. Artest trying to take Prince to the rack. Rebound Okur.
You know, Tayshaun Prince is having a huge effect on Artest in this game with his length.
He's using that length you were talking about earlier. Lob underneath. Foster got in the way of that. And then Okur was fouled. Boy, Foster gets in the right place, doesn't he, defensively?
He really does. I mean, he reads things well, he reacts to things well, and he's a tremendous athlete for his size. I mean, he can really cover ground. I mean, that's a pretty nice play. Peyton Manning couldn't have gotten that one through, I don't think.
Harrison might have caught it, though. Let's check in with Michelle.
Well, guys, Rasheed Wallace continues to play with plantar fasciitis in the arch of his left foot. Athletic trainer Mike Abdenauer described what the pain is like for me. He said, imagine being in bare feet and stepping on a sharp pebble. Now multiply that pain by 20, and see, instead of it being short, live pain, it's constant. The tape job you see on Rasheed's left foot is designed to provide support and give relief, but his injury is one more reason that Larry Brown really needs Eldon Campbell and Mehmet Okur to play well, Doc.
Yeah, I agree, Michelle, and they did in this first half. So Larry Brown got what he wanted out of those two. Now he has to get something out of Rasheed Wallace.
He's out there. as O'Neal has his shot blocked by Okur. Chauncey Billups hasn't scored in the last 35 minutes of play dating back to game 1. Here's Rasheed Wallace off the glass. That might get him going.
You know, his last 3-4 attempts have been good attempts. They haven't gone in. Rasheed Wallace is not shooting the ball well, Brad, but he's involved in this game.
Talk about droughts. That's his first field goal in the last 36 minutes. So we're talking about Chauncey having trouble scoring. Rasheed, the same story, but he's given Detroit its biggest lead. They're up 3 with 5:20 left in the half. Johnson with a shot clock winding down, launched a 3. And now the Pistons have the Pacers a little bit on their heels. It was a terrible first 11 minutes for Detroit, but they're warming up. Billups gave up a 3. Wallace from the elbow this time.
Boy, they pass up some good shots right there.
Chauncey Billups gave up a beauty. Artest reverse layup.
Artest needed that one to go.
Yes. He'd really been struggling, too, from the floor. 29-28 Detroit. Trying to even the series before we head to Michigan in 2 days. Billups goes down. No foul call. Ball goes aimlessly out of bounds.
I mean, this is our test right here. Noticing that no one's back but one. One-on-one situation, me against a big, I can beat him to the bucket.
And he really loves that shot. He's using it more and more. This time he goes through Tayshaun Prince and picks up the foul.
Well, he got away with one earlier, and, you know, the officials were almost waiting for that move. You can see Tayshaun Prince squaring him up. They told him to try to stay up, but in that case, you have to go down. I mean, great call. Lowered his shoulders, squared him right into the chest. Good call.
Pacers have not had many turnovers. That's the first one they've had in about 13 minutes of play. Billups misses a 3. O'Neal snatches the rebound. Chance for the Pacers to regain the lead. O'Neal's open. Boy, he worked inside. He knew where he wanted to go, didn't he?
That's really nice when you see players do that. It wasn't the shot that he wanted, the first one. So he got to the spot on the floor where he wanted to take the shot, not where the defense wanted him to take it, and he makes it.
It was only one dribble, and it was only about 3 feet, but he knew where he wanted to get, and he's given the Pacers the lead back. Okur, tough catch on the baseline. Trying to back Crozier in, and does.
Well, Okur is giving the Pistons some huge minutes right now.
He's their leading scorer.
He's the best player in this half.
There's the bench, and it's all Okur with 9. O'Neal takes everybody with it.
It's rare that you will see a Piston late in recovery, but here it is. Okur shows Tayshaun Prince had his back to the play and reacted late. See, Prince was supposed to be there, got there late because he didn't see the ball. You must see the ball when you're playing defense from the weak side.
Jermaine O'Neal to try to cap off the three-point play, which would be his second of this half. Does. 14 for Jermaine. And it's the Pacers back in front by Deuce. Fans asking for some defense. I'd say we've had defense from both teams, wouldn't you?
Oh, there's no doubt.
Prince on a runner. Tayshaun quiets down the capacity house, and we're tied at 33. So maybe it's going to be more like first one to 70. Rick thought first one to 60 would do it. Rip Hamilton picks up his second foul. 2 minutes and 38 seconds till halftime. Reggie Miller to Jermaine O'Neal. He took everybody to the hole with him. Capped off a three-point play. He leads the way with 14. And with a little over 2.5 in the half, we're tied at 33.
Evil
threatens the existence of man.
Necromongers.
To the Toyota halftime show. Our game available on ESPN HD, which makes Doc and I look all the worse. As we welcome you back to Conseco Fieldhouse, we are tied at 33, 2:38 remaining in the first half, and another defensive struggle going on.
It really has. I guess you call it defensive struggle or offensive struggle.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Either way.
That's what it is. But, I mean, I do like the effort for both teams. I will say this. The Detroit Pistons have had great opportunities with layups and missed free throws that could come back and haunt them at a later time. The couple things that stand out, the number one thing to me is the Indiana bench in game 1 was dominant.
Right.
The Detroit bench in game 2 so far has been huge for them.
Pistons are 6 out of 9 from the floor from their bench. Their starters are 6 out of 20. Let's check in with Michelle.
In that last timeout, Larry Brown reminded Chauncey Billups, hey, know when to shoot, know when to pass. And he was calling for the ball to get to Rasheed, who's been open. He said, look, bottom line, we haven't made foul shots. We're in foul trouble. And guess what? We're tied.
Can't beat that. Okur is the leader.
No, he's right. But they have a dilemma, and we talked about it earlier, Brad, with Chauncey. Chauncey Billups has a huge advantage when Tinsley is in and whenever, because he can get his shots off.
Right.
But they don't want him to get it in an ISO situation. So what they're trying to get Chauncey to do is play the team game, throw it inside. If Rasheed doesn't have anything, then bring it back out to you, and then you go ISO.
Didn't you feel the other night that Chauncey Billups, who had 13 of his 17 points in the first quarter, but he didn't get his teammates enough touches, and then he kind of went to sleep until they needed him at the end, and he hadn't shot in so long the 3 was a mile off.
Exactly, and that's what happened, because at halftime they told him, great, you're scoring, but we're not scoring because our team's not involved. So what Chauncey did was went out and was a point guard.
Sometimes you can take that too literally, though. You told me sometimes it's hard to tell guys something and not have them take it so to heart that it takes them out of their game.
That's exactly what happened, and Larry would say that Chauncey listened to him maybe too much.
Right.
You know, and what they're trying to do is get him to do a little bit of both. And it's a tough situation because they need his points, but they also need his point guard play.
And you can see only 2 points since that 17-point first half in game 1. Those are his first 2 of the night. Ties us again at 35. A little backcourt pressure now from the Pistons. Johnson has played much of the first half at point because Jamal Tinsley had foul trouble early and then picked up his 3rd foul a few minutes ago. Johnson leaves it for O'Neal. Off the glass, Jermaine O'Neal has 16 first half points.
One of the things that Larry Brown was upset about after game 1 was dribble penetration, and it's happening again in game 2.
Rasheed Wallace spins on O'Neal. Rims one out. Foster has another rebound.
I like that move by Rasheed Wallace. That's what he's going to have to do a little bit more of.
Jeff Foster, by the way, you never have to say much about his scoring. He has 7 rebounds in this first half again. He just does the dirty work. Foster, who had the key layup, and then the tip out to O'Neal that set up Reggie Miller's shot in game 1. There's a Pacer turnover, only their 5th of the half, but an untimely one as they led by 2 with a minute and a half to go. Billups, nice lead for Corliss Williamson.
So that's a nice play by Billups. You know, Corliss Williamson gets the 2 points, but Billups set that whole thing up.
No doubt. All of Corliss Williamson's points, 7 of them have come in the second quarter. So it's that Detroit bench. He and Okur have really kept the Pistons in the ballgame. Ron Artest got his own miss and then gave it up.
Artest is really struggling with Princess Glenn.
Corliss Williamson with a foul. Ron Artest tonight is 2 of 13, and when you go back to what he did the other night, though he did score 17 points, he had to shoot a lot just to get those 17.
Yeah, he was 6 of 23, so that's not a good percentage.
Here's a good percentage, the guy that's at the free throw line. Reggie is 4 for 4 from the stripe tonight. Make it 5 for 5. We're going to take our show on the road to the Motor City on Wednesday night. Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals. The Pacers and the Pistons. Our coverage gets underway at 8 with the key NBA shoot-around. The NBA playoffs Wednesday right here on ESPN. Reggie Miller has 13 points in this first half. Phillips again threaded the needle to Williamson. This time he missed it. And Foster with another board. Pacers looking to add to their lead. I don't know, Lindsey Hunter's on Reggie Miller right now. That's a matchup we haven't seen yet. There might be another rub coming here someplace to get Reggie open. Or maybe he'll try to create it himself right here. The shot goes!
All size. Reggie Miller knew. I'm bigger than Lindsey Hunter. I can shoot over Lindsey Hunter. And you saw it, Brad.
The Pacers will have the halftime lead at home again. And they might get to add to it.
The offense was broke. Reggie Miller knew he had an advantage. He took advantage of Lindsey Hunter's size. He was able to get that shot off. And like Reggie Miller said, he didn't need much room.
And now Reggie's asking the crowd for maybe just a little bit more noise. I think he got it.
And Rick Carlisle wants to get him quiet. So he's using that 20 seconds.
Timeout, 5 seconds left first half.
Evil threatens the...
To the half at Conseco in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Pacers will have the halftime lead. It's just a matter now of by how many, as they'll go to the free throw line.
You know, you're at home and you're wondering, why would Rick Carlisle call a 20-second timeout? Well, this is why. He would lose it anyway. He knows that there's 5 seconds left and that the Pistons are going to set something up for them to score. So he used that timeout to get his guys to understand, we can make these free throws, guys. If we can stop them right here, we can go into the lead, into the halftime with a 6-point lead. So that was an excellent use of a timeout.
The Pistons and Larry Brown do have a timeout at 20 remaining too.
And in essence, what Rick Carlisle is saying, he believes he'll probably use it unless Larry just set up something right now. So what does he get? He gets 2 timeouts, in essence, for his guys.
Ron Artest first trip to the free throw line. The lead goes to 5. The Pacers are 12 out of 13 from the line, Doc. That's how they won the other night. Better free throws.
And better free throw shooting.
And not as many turnovers as the Pistons. That's been the story again, first half here. Here's the final 5 seconds. Rasheed Wallace got it to Chauncey Billups. He'll have a good look, but he gives it up. James will take the shot. Air ball.
Boy, Billups should have taken that.
Should have. He had nobody near him. He could have pulled up and taken the 3 himself, but he gave it up. Pistons led by 3 with 5:41 left in the second quarter, but the Pacers close out the half 17-8 to lead by 6. Let's check in with Jim.
All right, thank you very much, Brad. 16 points for Jermaine O'Neal. Jermaine, how can you guys shoot the ball so poorly once again tonight and win this game?
I don't know. Our defense gives us opportunity every single night. But we're getting the looks that we want to get. They're just not falling for us right now. Hopefully, the second half, we get those shots to fall. And obviously, we know this team is Detroit's going to make a good run in the second half. We just got to come out and play tough.
Do you feel as though you're keeping the Pistons in this game?
Nah, no. Like I said, no matter how we shoot the ball, defensively, we give ourselves opportunity. And once we get stops, we can get into the open court and get some easy transition layups.
Final thought, Jermaine. Doc Rivers raised an interesting point. Is this a great defensive struggle or an offensive struggle?
A little bit of both.
Good luck in the second half. Thanks, Jermaine. Back to you, Doc. Brad.
Fellas, 43-37. Kevin and the crew will be in the studio for the Toyota halftime show momentarily. Stanley Cup preview, French Open Day 1, big upset there. And the Wild Wild West, Minnesota and L.A. This one's not so wild, but you got to fight for every point. And Reggie Miller and Jermaine O'Neal have 31 of the Pacers' 43.
The human machine only performs at its peak when it replaces what it loses.
Eastern Conference Finals Game 2. Those two guys probably could shoot as well as what we saw in the first half as we take a look at our Nike first half statistics. Although the Pacers actually warmed up to that 34%. Detroit's the team that started strong, but you see the free throw story again. The Pacers 13 out of 14 from the line. The bench has kept Detroit, at least, Doc, in the ballgame. Had it not been for Mehmet Okur and Corliss Williamson, this thing could be out of hand right now, but those guys did a nice job.
Yeah, they had to. You know, it was early foul trouble for the Pistons, and the bench for the Pistons came in and did well. You know, in Game 1, it was all Pacer. In Game 2, it's been all Pistons from the bench. Right. It's been the starters from the Pacers who have played extremely well.
Let's take a look at the Nokia storyline of the ballgame. Not a big surprise, really, to find out who the top story is for the Indiana Pacers. They're two stars.
Yeah, Reggie Miller's been unbelievable. He came out far more aggressive in this game than he did in Game 1. You can see he felt that he had to get himself involved. And you can make the same point for Jermaine O'Neal. He's attacked the basket more, he's got the ball on the post more, and he's played well. And Rasheed Wallace has really struggled. He's had some good shots, but not as many as he needs.
Let's check in with Michelle.
Well, guys, I spoke with Larry Brown coming out of the locker room at halftime. He was not real happy with the way his team finished the first half, but he said he is happy with his bench. He wants more offensive production from his starters. He needs to keep Ben Wallace out of foul trouble, he said. Keep moving the ball from side to side, continue to take care of the basketball, and just keep it close. Then he says we have a great shot. Guys?
You know, he makes a great point. Ben Wallace didn't play much of the first half at all.
He got those 2 fouls, and he never came back out. So he's fresh and ready to go, that's for sure. He doesn't have to worry about foul trouble, per se.
You know, they haven't made free throws, but the fact that they shot more free throws than the Pacers are going to pay dividends later on in this game, Brad.
Pacers have their starting 5 on the floor, including Jermaine O'Neal. Squares up against Rasheed Wallace and missed on the baseline. And Hamilton, who had the first basket of the quarter, has the first rebound for the Pistons. And so you can see the intensity's picked up for Detroit here in the opening minute. Let's check in with Jim Gray.
All right, Brad, I spoke to Rick Carlisle. He said, I'm very happy that half is over. We all are. We were frustrated with the fouls, frustrated with the way we shot the ball. He said, I told my team we've got 24 minutes left. We're lucky to have a 6-point lead. Take advantage of it.
I don't know if they can win shooting 34%, but we said their last 2 playoff games have been under 34. Here they are, right? They got the Pistons right where they want them. Shooting 34%.
They really do. And we make the point, you know, Brad, I'm sitting here watching this game, and there has not been a lot of easy shots in this game. So, you know, it's bad offense in one way, but to me it's great defense. When you got a hand in the face on every shot, you're not going to make a lot of those shots, and that's what you're seeing thus far.
And that's the way it was in Game 1 on Saturday. So here the Pistons have the first 4 points of the third quarter, and they cut the lead down to 2. Our tests strong. Just strength alone got in that basket.
Yeah, what he's trying to do to counteract Tayshaun Prince's length is by getting into his body. And that's what he did on that last shot.
Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, with 5 on the shot clock. And Foster bumped him. That'll be Foster's second.
So the officials have come out again, and they're going to call it close again. You know, Foster has said he bodied up, and Rasheed brought the contact to him. But usually when you have contact on a shooter, you're going to get the whistle. See, Foster is saying this: I slid my feet, I beat him to the spot, and it was Rasheed's contact that initiated it. The officials are saying you bumped the shooter, and we have to make that call.
So Rasheed Wallace is not the most popular player in Indiana right now at the free throw line.
You know what Rasheed Wallace is thinking? He wouldn't be anyway. He's a Piston. So he could care less about that when you think about it.
That's true.
One thing Wallace has to do, and even on that last catch, is Foster had him 10 feet off the block. If he's going to go down on the block, he has to fight for better position.
Got them both. Wallace with 4. And a 2-point game again.
And
Anthony
no
Johnson and Jamal Tinsley. That got kind of lost at the beginning of the game. The first foul of this quarter was called on Jamal Tinsley, and he's on the bench with 4. So we're going to see a lot more Anthony Johnson, much like we did in the first half. Reggie Miller got it over Hamilton.
So you don't see Reggie do that a whole bunch, but earlier in his career, he was terrific at getting to the basket and drawing fouls.
He's having another special night. Hamilton, too much juice on the pass. Detroit turns it over. Maybe it wasn't too much juice, but it wasn't a good catch by Prince. O'Neal. Short on the shot, and Wallace, who was a non-factor in the first half due to his foul trouble, has his 4th rebound. He had 22 on Saturday night, including a Piston playoff record 19 defensive rebounds. Well, Rip Hamilton tried to use a little of the Reggie Miller that he says he's learned, and he didn't get away with it. He didn't get the shot, got away with the push. Miller looks at the clock, looking for a pick from O'Neal, and trying to lob it back to him, had it knocked away by Wallace. Rasheed Wallace for 3. Tayshaun Prince keeps it alive. Hamilton lobs to Wallace, and he almost lost the handle.
You can see it happening, Brad. Jermaine O'Neal was more focused on Hamilton on the post than his own man. He lost sight of it. Ben Wallace saw that and got the dunk, or the layup, or whatever you call that.
O'Neal blocked by Rasheed Wallace, who gets it out of the air and gets the outlet to Billups. Great play by Wallace defensively. Chauncey Billups with the left hand almost tied it up, but it rolled off.
Boy, he got all the way to the basket.
Artest. Tayshaun Prince got a piece of it. Now it's the Pacers that are worried about the officiating, not the Pistons.
And Artest is so concerned right now about Tayshaun Prince that he's throwing it right into it. Now, this is the play we talked about earlier. I want you to watch the post. Right when they throw it in to Rip, look at Jermaine O'Neal right here at the bottom of your screen. He's not looking at Ben Wallace anymore. He's looking at the ball, loses sight of his man, gives up a 2-pointer. That's why you have guys like Rip Hamilton on your team, because he draws so much attention.
Pistons with a chance to tie again. Ben Wallace, they give him that shot. Reggie Miller pulls down the backside rebound. Miller and Hamilton really going at it. And a foul on Hamilton.
They really are. I mean, it's funny. They thought it was cute in the first game. You know, oh, we like holding each other and grabbing each other. Now they don't think it's funny anymore because they're both doing it to each other. And right now, the teacher is getting away with more because he's better at it.
Teacher beats the student that time on the pick by O'Neal.
Look at his face. I mean, he's just trying to draw attention.
Artest has not shot well from the outside tonight, and he gave up one there. He'll take it strong anyway and had it blocked again. There's some shot blocking going on. It's not the variety that knocks it out to the second row, but everything's contested.
I mean, Brad, it's not bad offense. The guys are getting to the bucket. They're making great plays, but the defense right now is better than the offense.
The Pistons have 10 block shots in the ball game that has 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Rasheed Wallace wide open again. Got it.
See, when you get an open shot, uncontested shot, guys make it. You're just not going to get a lot of them in this series.
So the Pacers are led by 6 at halftime. Their lead has gone away.
Good timeout by Rick Carlisle, because right now all the energy is going toward the Detroit Pistons.
Rasheed Wallace, who had a terrible first half, has picked up the slack in the third quarter. And with 6:39 to go in the third, we're tied at 47.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA Eastern Conference Finals, brought to you by Motel 6. For the lowest rate of any national chain, call 1-800-4-MOTEL-6. And Nike.
Back in Indianapolis, Eastern Conference Finals tied at 47 with 6:39 remaining in the third quarter. Rasheed Wallace has 4 of his 6 points in this third quarter. Here he is with Jeff Foster with a hand right on his head.
Yeah, that's called a face guard. There's no doubt about it.
And Rasheed wanted to talk to the officials about whether or not Jeff Foster can get away with that.
Sure. I explained it now, but is he allowed to put his hand on my face? My face up?
Can he put it towards you? He can't touch your face.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
He can put it in. Can't touch it.
Looked like he touched him to me.
Well, there's no doubt. But you got to remember, who is Jeff Foster's best friend? Brad Miller. Brad Miller did it against Kevin Garnett.
Yeah.
Brad Miller probably called up and said, hey, this is a great new technique.
Detroit has started the quarter with a 10-4 push to tie this game at 47. Johnson trying to spin around Billups and does. Nice job by Anthony Johnson.
Yeah, he's giving them big minutes because Tinsley's in foul trouble. Johnson has had to extend his minutes. He's done a nice job.
Wallace has been the man this quarter, and he continues to be.
Every bucket he makes is good for him, but good for his whole team.
Yeah.
Because they know that's the guy who made the guarantee. He's giving everybody on his team confidence right now.
Anthony Johnson trying to pick and roll with O'Neal, and Chauncey Billups stepped in to swipe that one away. Wallace again. He's the man right now.
Great find. See, Chauncey Billups could have taken that all away. He knows he has to get Rasheed involved also. That was an excellent find by Billups.
Rasheed Wallace has the last 6 Piston points, 8 in the quarter, 10 for the game, and he's given his team the lead again. See if Reggie Miller will be the guy to take it back. Artest is 9 for 39 through 2 games, and he just had another shot block.
Well, Brad, you see what he's doing? Instead of going up for the bucket, he's more concerned about putting the ball into Tayshaun Prince, and is really throwing his game off right now. He's 9 for 40 in 2 games, if you count that last miss.
And he just turned the ball over. Pistons with a lead, chance to stretch it. Billups saw a little avenue and goes in, and he's called for the foul. Reggie Miller held his ground.
And again, what the Pistons are saying, they're asking, was he in the restricted zone? Too close to call for me.
At least from our angle it was.
You can see at the bottom of your screen. Yeah, see, that is a block.
We approach 5 minutes in the third quarter.
I would be a heck of an official if I could use replay every time.
That's right. Jermaine O'Neal to try to tie it. Can't. Prince with a rebound. Hamilton. And foul away from the ball.
See, Rick Carlisle better keep a close eye on Ron Artest right now, because he is really getting frustrated. He's really trying to force shots. He's picked up 2 quick fouls. So he has to be really careful. Not that he's going to lose his cool, but he's going to start playing out of control.
Right now, his frustration offensively is affecting the fact that he isn't playing like the defensive player of the year right now. Rasheed Wallace, the Pistons know he's the man with a hot hand. Ball still with the Pistons with 4 on the shot clock.
Yeah, good match for Rasheed because of his size. So if he can get Al Harrington low, he can turn and elevate. Again, Harrington pushed him out too far off the block.
They lob it into him. He knows he's got to shoot and shoot in a hurry. Well, he's going to go to the rack with it, and he wasted too much time. And Jermaine O'Neal not only rejected it after the shot clock expired, but he let Wallace know about it.
But again, he had a chance to catch that on the post. Instead, he pops out behind the three-point line.
Let's see if that O'Neal block, even though time was out officially when it happened, will inspire the Pacers. And Hunter picks up a foul.
Look at Rip Hamilton on the bench right now. He's upset at the last call.
Now watch this. Already.
That's as clean of a block that you will ever see on a dunk.
Not only.
No body, all hand-to-hand. I mean, that's excellent.
And it sends your opponent to his butt, which is even more demoralizing.
And it was Rasheed Wallace.
And it was Rasheed Wallace, his old friend. And it was Rasheed Wallace who's had the hot quarter. All that being said, it's still the Pacers trailing by 2.
Rip Hamilton got that call. I'm telling you, on the last time they called the foul on Lindsey Hunter, Rip Hamilton jumped up from the bench and started yelling, "Hey, wait a minute. That's what I'm doing, and you're not giving me that call." The next play, Lindsey Hunter flops and gets it.
That's the first foul on Reggie Miller.
And that was a good call. But Rip Hamilton took up for his teammate because he wants that same treatment when he gets out on the floor.
Paid off, didn't it? Okoro had a great second quarter off the Detroit bench. And the Pistons travel. 10th Piston turnover.
It's a big difference, though, in turnovers. That's a turnover there that they have to take the ball out of bounds. You know, you don't want the turnover, but they don't get a quick 2.
Right. Artest with Chauncey Billups on. There's a mismatch. Now he gets double-teamed by 2 smaller guys. Bender, he'll try a 3. Got it!
Well, that kid can shoot the ball. But again, Anthony Johnson created those 2 points, or 3 points.
Detroit has turned it over their last 3 trips. They've turned the lead back over to the Pacers. And we're under 3.5 in the third. Prince, partially blocked by Bender. Here comes Artest. And he'll wait for his friends. Bender's going to try a second.
Heat check.
Little heat check from the top of the circle. Tayshaun Prince got Bender in the air.
Well, Bender is so long. And that was great recovery. Now, since the block shot, the Pistons have not scored.
And the intensity of the Pacers is definitely picked up. O'Neal. Harrington tracks down the offensive rebound. Bender's going to try to take it inside this time. And a blocking foul. And, oh, boy, Larry Brown just came out of his suit. So did Rasheed Wallace.
Rasheed Wallace better be careful.
I didn't know Larry could still move that fast.
I tell you what, he's pretty quick.
He's pretty quick. He's 63 years young, and that's as quick a move as I've seen from him in a while. Bender lays in the shoulder. Prince with a foul. The bench with a reaction. Pacers up by 1. Beautiful night in Indy, and our aerial coverage is courtesy of the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company and its fleet of airships, reminding you to enjoy the drive on Goodyear's new Assurance tires. Let's check in with Jim Gray.
All right, Brad, thank you very much. I'm here with a couple very popular guys here in Indianapolis. The Colts' Marvin Harrison, wide receiver, and Peyton Manning, the All-Pro. You guys went to the AFC Championship game, lost to New England. What did two offensive guys like you think of a great defensive struggle here?
Well, obviously, it's probably not as exciting to most people, but being an offensive player, I can appreciate good defense. I can tell you that. And Pacers are doing well. They're going to pull it out in the end tonight.
And at least you're not getting beat up. You guys had minicamp. How did it go trying to return back to the championship game into the Super Bowl?
It went well. Marvin's healthy. That's really all I care about on offense. No, everybody's healthy. We're excited. Obviously, we came close last year, Jim. Hopefully, we can take it a step further this year.
Marvin, what do you make of this defensive struggle for a guy who puts a lot of points on the board? You may have scored more in a game yourself.
Well, yeah, I definitely like a game where we score a lot of points, but it's a good game, it's a close game, but this game's going to be won with defense, so offensive, it'll play its part towards the end.
Final thought, Peyton. It's been a wild ride for the Manning family. How's Eli doing, and have things calmed down somewhat?
They sure have, Jim. He's doing well up there in their off-season workouts. He's excited about next season. I'm real proud of him.
All right, we look forward to football season. Back to the basketball now. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jim.
All right, fellas,
back to you, Brett.
Thanks, Jim. Two of the greats in modern-day football, Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison. What a combination those two are. Detroit now hasn't scored in its last 6 trips.
They haven't scored since that block shot.
That's right.
It's amazing how one play can turn around a game.
We asked the question out loud, will that fire up Indiana, even though it was a block shot that really didn't even count because the shot clock had expired. Pacers give it back, though, as we're under 2 minutes in the third quarter. Billups gives it up to Corliss Williamson. He's going to try to drive on Bender. Tough shot over those long arms.
Well as Harrington played in game 1, Bender is having the same effect in game 2.
They're both out there right now with O'Neal. The 3 guys that came straight out of high school. The 3 babies on this team, and Artest, the old man at 24, just missed a jump shot. There's a lot of youth being served right now. Anthony Johnson's the oldest guy on the floor for the Pacers, and he's about 28.
But, you know, it's funny. You look at the Pacers and you see all that youth, but this is youth with experience.
Right.
This is not like they're young with 1 or 2 years in the league.
That kid's
These
been
are guys
around.
who are 24, 25 years old who have been in the league for 7 years already.
O'Neal's been in 8 years, Harrington 6, Bender 5. And they're still in their early 20s.
You know, when you think about this team and the way it's been put together, the name that never comes up is Donnie Walsh.
Right.
And he is the architect of this basketball team.
And you and I were talking about that. Every year he seems to make a shrewd move or a great draft choice, something like that.
And you know what else stands out? As many great players that they've had to come through this franchise, not one has ever left the franchise.
Via free agency.
Exactly.
Williamson got them both. 9 for Corliss off the Detroit bench. 1-point ball game. 1 minute left, third quarter. Harrington trying to go up and around Okur, and Ben Wallace sends it out.
See, that's where Ben Wallace is great. He's a good defender on his own guy. He's a great defender when he can come from the weak side and swat shots. I mean, that is an amazing block shot.
That is a team playoff record for Detroit. 14th block shot tonight.
See, Artest again.
He's out of control right now.
He really is so concerned with drawing fouls, he's forgotten that he's an excellent offensive player.
That's his 4th foul.
Every shot is leaning forward, ripping the ball through. He is so concerned right now with drawing fouls. He's forgotten he didn't need to do that to score because he's an excellent offensive player in his own right.
And we've seen so much offensively from him in the postseason against Miami, especially. when he was probably the MVP for the Pacers in that 6-game win. Okur, tough catch, trying to lay it up off the glass. Last touched by Corliss Williamson, they say. So the Pacers will have the ball.
Well, I tell you, Okur had a point-blank layup, and he saw Reggie Miller jump. I bet he thought it was Bender, because there's no reason he needed to change his shot on Reggie Miller.
Pistons have a foul to give, and Okur just gave it as Harrington goes to the baseline under the rack.
You know, Rick Carlisle might be right. You know, it's 54-53. And there may not be 15 more points scored in this game. I mean, we have 14 block shots already by a team. We have contested shots, guys being knocked down.
Bender, Crozier, Johnson, Harrington, and Mr. Clutch on the floor for the Pacers. They might not get a chance to get a shot. They throw it. Was it tipped or not? The officials are going to talk on whether or not that ball went out of bounds. It's going to go over to Detroit.
And what they're going to do is put 14 seconds back on the clock. What they're saying is the ball, if the ball was never touched, it should never be started.
And it wasn't. At least we didn't think so from our vantage point. Oh, maybe it was touched.
It was close. You know, if the officials ask that scores table, they're going to say it was touched. So it should be 11-7. But if it was touched, then that means it's the Pacers' ball.
Yeah.
So the officials are saying it was not touched and put it back to 14 seconds. I tell you, this last minute and a half, the Pistons have taken their defense to a place that I've never seen.
Well,
I mean, it is stifling.
I had them a couple of times in the regular season where I didn't think they could play defense any better. And that's how they're playing right now. Final seconds, third quarter. Pistons can have the lead if they score before the buzzer, and Rip Hamilton does. Still 2.8 left for the Pacers, though. Johnson looks up and launches. And it's the Pistons who lead now at the end of 3. After a 6-point halftime lead by Indiana, Detroit has come back to play that stifling defense. And in a low-scoring, bump-and-grind affair, every possession's going to count the next 12 minutes. End of 3 at Conseco, and the Pistons have come back to lead by 1. Bright mad skills, a guy that's made everybody in Indiana mad before the game.
They will not win game 2. And you heard that from me. Y'all print whatever the hell y'all want. Y'all put it front page, back page, middle of the page. They will not win game 2.
And then he's antagonized everybody in Conseco tonight before the game. When it started, had a tough start, but now he's starting to come on. He's put together a big third quarter. He had 8 of his 10 points in the third. Rasheed Wallace. He's done a little bit of everything, including a little dance.
Man. And listen, those are the best moves of the game. Right there. I mean, those are some great moves right there. But, Brad, you know what I love about Rasheed Wallace? You know, he says things he shouldn't say at times, but give me 12 players who play with emotion. He has that.
Yes,
he plays with enthusiasm. Sometimes it goes overboard, but the guy plays with emotion. Every coach wants that.
Let's see if that Detroit defense can keep doing what they're doing, or if the Pacers can come to life offensively. They had 11 points in the third quarter. That's a playoff low for them. Crozier. Foul by Rasheed Wallace. So we check in with Michelle.
Hey, guys, late in the season, Joe Dumars challenged Rip Hamilton to become more than a scorer. He told him Rip was cheating himself. And that's when Rip says his defense got better, his assists went up, and he decided he was going to become just a better all-around player. And another all-around effort from Rip tonight would be appreciated, guys. It is Joe Dumars' birthday. It would make a fitting gift.
Joe, part of the Pistons championship backcourt with Isaiah Thomas in his playing days.
He was a great player.
He really was.
Joe, he really was. And he was a quiet, great player. He got the job done. You never knew it.
And tough.
And tough as nails. And I think that's what he's trying to instill, not only in Rip, but in their whole team.
11 lead changes. We've been tied 9 times. Corliss Williamson goes up strong, comes down with a jump ball situation with Al Harrington.
The rest of this game is going to be a war. We should clap when someone scores because it's going to be difficult. I'm telling you. You're going to have to earn 2 here.
Pistons will control it. Mike James at the point right now for Detroit. Trying to break down Tinsley, who's had foul trouble all night. Pacers block one inside.
I mean, Brad, I'm going to ask you again. That was good offense. He attacked the rim. That's what you want your players to do. That was better defense.
It was.
2 guys blocked that shot.
Jones, who hasn't seen much action because of a bad shoulder. Crozier misses. Harrington blocked by Wallace. Another block shot. Some more great defense. Fans are getting restless. Bender high in the air with a jumper. And Harrington, another offensive rebound. You're right, we're going to have to clap, but we don't have to right now.
They haven't even scored and they're clapping. I mean, look at this. Guys are getting to the rim. We're going to block that. We're going to contest that shot. We're going to block that shot. I mean, this is tough, hard-nosed basketball.
Al Harrington hasn't scored tonight after having a huge first half in game 1, and he still hasn't scored.
I mean, we've interviewed Marvin Harris and Peyton Manning. We should have Buddy Ryan here because this fits him far more.
I was going to say we need a couple Colts linebackers is what we need. Harrington missed badly and knew that one wasn't going. He tried to crash the rim to get his hands on it. So an opportunity for the Pacers. Goes awry there as 2 missed free throws. They still maintain a 1-point lead. Hamilton blocked by Jones away from the basket.
That's 3 blocks in a row by each team.
We got a block party that's broken out here in Indianapolis. 18,000 people at a block party. Tinsley, he got an opening.
Wow. Tinsley did his Isaiah Thomas impression right there. Wow.
First points for Jamal since the first quarter. Timeout. Under 10 to go.
I told you they would clap when someone scored.
Jamal Tinsley is why everybody's clapping right now. A lot of shake, a little bake, and a lot of cooking over there on the bench. They'll take any basket they can get right now.
I'd like to tell you a little story about my grandparents. They had a refrigerator that they knitted.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA Eastern Conference Finals. Brought to you by Miller. Vote Miller for President of Beers. Good call. GMC. We are professional grade. And Nike.
Pacers by 3 with under 10 minutes to go. And this series and this game, I think, is about survival more than anything else. And our old buddy Rupert, Indianapolis' newest millionaire from the Survivor Series, our good friend Rupert Bonham in attendance. He got the crowd fired up before the game. And Jermaine O'Neal's defense got the Pacers fired up in the last 5 minutes or so. But, Doc, this is defense, defense, defense.
I mean, look at Ben Wallace here. You think he's not involved in his play, but he's spying now. I see you. I can get there. I can block shots. Both teams, but look at the effort here. You know, again, Brad, we talked about it in the break. Our league was talked about guys that don't play hard. This is all this is about. 2 teams who are roaring, fighting hard, playing extremely hard, and they're not going to let you score.
Every basket's crucial. Let's check in with Michelle Tafoya.
Well, in that last time out, Larry Brown said, look, we got to get stops. We've got to win the secondary break, and we've got to rebound the basketball. Then he looked up at the clock and said, listen, guys, all we have to do is win the next 9 minutes. And they start with a basket, Brad.
They won the first 20 seconds out of the break, that's for sure.
And that's a nice sign. Chauncey Billups is really mixing it up well in this second half.
Tinsley will try it again. He hit the last shot. Rebounded by Detroit. And Chauncey Billups, who had gone 53 minutes between field goals, tried another one there and didn't get it that time. Tinsley had a notion again, didn't he?
He thought about it.
He thought about it. You'll notice this is a different lineup. Rick Carlisle's trying to live with, for the most part, his bench right here. Jones, and he just had nothing on that shot. I don't know if it's his shoulder that's bothering him or not, but that wasn't even close.
I don't know if that's his shot. That might have a little to do with it.
And now he's trying to guard Hamilton and fouls him. Jones picking up his first foul. And Rip Hamilton will go to the free throw line. 10 points tonight for Rip.
I'm going to work on Tinsley, his flopping, because that last play was not a very good effort.
Pretty good when you can be a leading scorer with 10 points with 8:45 left. Make it 11 now for Rip Hamilton. Tune in to NBA TV immediately following every playoff and NBA Finals game for post-game press conferences, live and unedited on NBA TV.
You can see Rick Carlisle leading Jonathan Bender in. He has Austin Crozier in. He just put Reggie Miller in. He just put Jermaine O'Neal in. What he's saying is we have to find some way to score some points here.
Jermaine O'Neal has not scored in the second half. Chauncey Billups with almost a steal. It would have been sensational. They reset the shot clock. Bender inside in traffic. And jump ball is called.
Bennett Avatar had several things he was going to call. He was going to call a travel. That's why you see Larry Brown acting the way he's acting, because he thought it was a travel first. And it probably was. And instead, he called a jump ball.
So Bender and Prince will jump it. And Bender won it, but Ben Wallace got his hands on it.
Bender won the tip, but it stayed in the air, which allowed. And here comes the offensive foul. Now, you know what Rip Hamilton is thinking? Reggie Miller is the king of push-off, and I just got caught. And the reason he got caught is because when he pushed Reggie Miller, he flopped. He knew how to sell it. I mean, watch the push and watch Reggie's reaction. Oh, like he was shot. And Rip knew it. That's why he didn't complain.
Remember, Rip said he's the godfather of knowing the tricks. Crozier, another block shot by Detroit. Back come the Pistons. Hamilton, pull-up jumper.
Oh, boy. He won't get a better shot all night.
17 block shots. Reggie Miller for three. And Rasheed Wallace got the rebound and got undercut by either Tinsley or Crozier. I think it was Tinsley. It was.
And he hurt his foot.
And remember, he has a bad foot to start with.
You know, the Pistons have 17 block shots. They probably have 30 contested shots.
I was going to say they probably altered about 13 more. And there you see the left foot that's causing him all the problems, and that's the one he kind of turned as he landed. And he stays out there. He doesn't use the foot. He hasn't used it as any kind of complaint or any kind of excuse. We talk about it. He never does. Here he is just inside the free throw line.
Off balance. He didn't know if he wanted to drive or take that shot. Again, that's from the rotation on defense from the Pacers.
The Pacers are shooting 30% from the floor this quarter, and a lot of that has to do with the guys in blue. Artest has not had a good night on either end of the floor. 3 on the shot clock. Johnson trying to get away from Billups, and he can't.
Wow.
How about the defense by Chauncey Billups?
Suffocating defense. Now, what the Pacers have to do, they have to go to the post to Jermaine O'Neal. They have to get the ball to him. But look at this defense. Sliding the feet, reaching. I mean, this is amazing defense.
And there you see the clock had expired. Now the chant goes up for defense for the Pacers from their hometown fans. Pistons by 1. We're under 7 minutes.
See, look where he caught the ball. He's so far away from the bucket that he has to shoot a jumper. You know what I mean?
Yep.
In front of the rim. He needs to catch it about 2 or 3 steps deeper.
And you could see the grimace on his face when he turned before he took that shot. That wheel's just not working right. Jermaine O'Neal, will he touch the ball this trip? Nope. And Artest does draw a foul for Prince.
See, Artest has been trying to sell that all game, and finally he got one. He got his hands up into Tayshaun Prince, which is going to allow him to go to the line.
So Artest back to the free throw line, where he's hit the only 2 times he's been there. 10-point night for Ron Artest, but not a good night from the floor. And rattles out the free throw as well. Don't forget, tomorrow night on TNT at 9 o'clock Eastern, Game 3 of the Western Finals. Lakers and Timberwolves tied at 1-1. And then Thursday night on TNT, same 2 clubs, Game 4 at 9 Eastern.
I tell you, Brad, when you play defense this hard, your offense does struggle. You're exhausted. Everyone right now is missing from the front of the rim, and that's because they're putting so much energy out on defense.
We're going to take Game 3 to Detroit. Hope you join us on ESPN on Wednesday night. As Wallace missed from the baseline, and it's out of bounds to the Pacers. We're tied at 59.
Again, front of the rim. Everyone's missing front of the rim. That's because what they're putting out on the other end.
We've been tied 11 times. With 6 minutes left, we are again. Rasheed Wallace right in Jermaine O'Neal's grill. Now he goes, and Ben Wallace sends it back. Block number 18. Timeout. 5:50 remaining in the ballgame. Coming over to help, Ben Wallace on Rasheed Wallace and on Jermaine O'Neal. Another Detroit swat. They're 18th of the ball game. We're tied at 59. Courtesy of the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company and its fleet of airships, reminding you to enjoy the drive on Goodyear's new Assurance tires. As you look in above Conseco Fieldhouse, tie game at 59. Our GMC game track in this one. One guy that's been on track shooting the ball has been Reggie Miller, 5 of 9. If you think he's done shooting, you're wrong. 17 for Reggie right now. Rip Hamilton's the leading scorer on the other side for the Pistons, but has only 10 field goal attempts, and he's hit half of them for 12. The story of the night has been defense and block shots. Indiana has 6, but Detroit has 18. Wow.
That really is amazing. When you think about it, the Pacers have missed 49 shots. 18 of them have been blocked of those 49, and probably all the rest have been contested.
Of their last 13 missed shots, 6 of them have been blocked. And here's Detroit. Coming down court, Hamilton and Billups together. Rip Hamilton lays it in.
You know, the 2 players who have shot the ball well are Reggie Miller and Rip Hamilton.
Reggie Miller and his mini-me, as he would say.
The 2 most efficient players. Now, Rip Hamilton has just drawn an offensive foul on Reggie Miller. So the game continues. He learned from that last one. When Reggie pushed that time, Rip Hamilton react. Now watch Rip. It's the same reaction. He's a quick learner.
He is. He's a quick study.
And you know, with Reggie Miller, he didn't even complain because he's thinking, wow.
I did it last time.
Exactly. The game and within the game between those 2 has been really neat to watch.
It sure has. Here they come again. Rip got around a pick. Reggie got back on him. Now he drives and scores.
That's why he wears that mask.
He took one in the face right there.
Right in the face.
Biggest lead of the night for the Pistons. Rick Carlisle's seen enough for right now. He wants to talk about it. And I think Rip's feeling the effects of that one.
He was crushed on that last one.
He got the shot, but he got a whole bunch of Jermaine O'Neal after it went in. Right there. And went down hard. And then started adjusting the face mask.
Yeah, I think he hit his head on Foster's knee.
Pistons on an 8-1 run, and they lead by 4.
You're watching the NBA Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN.
There's Jermaine.
Who's going to survive tonight?
We're taking this game.
This is no Pearl Island, I'll tell you. Every shot's contested. Even when you make them, sometimes you have to pay a big price. Remember, twice his nose has been broken this year, and that's why he's wearing that mask. And he just hit Rasheed Wallace's knee on the way down and had to readjust. Michelle?
Yeah, team officials told me he took the contact to the forehead, Brad, so he's just fine and he's back in. He says he's in the best shape of anyone in the NBA, Rip says. He says he knows if he's working hard, then whoever's guarding him is exhausted. Guys, he's been running a sub-5-minute mile since he was in 9th grade.
You know what he's banking on is that at the end of the game, by running Reggie Miller, he will miss front of the rim instead of making shots.
Well, Reggie just hit the back of the rim with that one over Hamilton. And he's got less than 5 minutes left to run.
Brad, it's no way that I would want to officiate this game. I mean, this is the most difficult game I have ever seen to officiate because of the energy put out defensively. And Rip Hamilton right now is feeling it.
He's the man for the Pistons. You saw that of their run, he had 6 of their points. Now he has 8 of their 10. Tinsley trying to answer. And Foster there, as he is so often, his first basket comes in the 4th quarter.
But you know, Michelle makes a great point. It looks like Rip is moving better than everybody else on the floor right now.
Again, around a pick. Momentarily shed Reggie Miller. Now went between the legs and almost lost it. On a runner. Not that time. Jermaine O'Neal with a rebound.
He wasn't passing that. He felt it. He was going to take it.
Jermaine O'Neal hasn't scored in the second half. Tinsley keeps it alive.
Well, Jermaine O'Neal hasn't scored, Brad, because Jermaine O'Neal is not getting the ball where he should get the ball. Right now, he's reduced to a jump shooter.
Yep.
In game 1, they had 2 key possessions. Both of them went down to Jermaine O'Neal, and he scored, and that gave this team some freedom.
He's 0 for 7 from the floor in this half. Looking for some help to get rid of it right now. Artest. Oh, I don't know how that went in.
He's stronger. He's stronger.
Pistons by 2. Everybody up in Conseco. Wallace goes strong. And a foul on Foster.
I mean, again, Brad, we talked about Tayshaun Prince using his length. He does it again. Contested shot. But Artest was just stronger. He was able to still take the hit and make the shot.
He willed and muscled that one in. That last foul was on O'Neal, not on Foster, so Jermaine O'Neal with his 3rd.
Oh, I tell you.
Stroke looks better, doesn't it?
It looks better.
2 out of 3 tonight. Sub 50% free throw shooter in the regular season and in the playoffs. Tonight he's 2 for 3. And he got them both.
With ease.
And that sits everybody down. Tinsley tried to push a pass to Artest, and Prince stole it. Chauncey Billups, Hamilton, Prince, and the two Wallaces on the floor for the Pistons. Detroit throws it away.
Yeah, I tell you, Tayshaun Prince had an opening. I thought he should have gone on and tried to make it. Good thought.
We approach 2.5 minutes. The Pistons try to tie the Eastern Conference Finals at 1 apiece before they head to the Palace of Auburn Hills 2 nights from now.
Again, he's done it over and over, Brad. It's something we noticed early. Ron Artest is leaning his shoulder. He's trying to draw the fouls, and instead that's his second offensive foul. Watch him lead. Right here, the push-off, and another guy hits his head on another one of his teammates. Wow.
5th foul on Artest. Pacers have turned it over 6 times.
They have to go to Jermaine O'Neal.
Wow, Hamilton and Artest really bumping down low. Ben Wallace got it back, missed twice, but he's fouled the second time. That's 3 on Jeff Foster. It will send Ben Wallace back to the free throw line. Look at these two.
No, exactly.
He's not moving them very far.
No,
but
and what Ron Artest is doing, he's not allowing Rip Hamilton to go set the cross screen for Wallace, and that's a good move. This is rough basketball. Wow.
Yeah, this might be the home of the Indy 500, but this is more like a demolition derby tonight.
Well, you know, Peyton Manning is thinking, I much would rather play football than basketball right now.
Detroit had hit its last 15 free throws until that last miss, and now they missed 2 in a row. After Ben hit 2, he missed 2. And that keeps it a 4-point game, and folks, don't go anywhere. We're at 2 minutes.
Oh, they're not giving Reggie Miller an opening tonight. Not yet.
Tinsley airballs a 3. That was a horrible shot.
See, it looks like the Pacers are a little bit out of their offense is an understatement.
Yeah.
But the fact that everything's a jump shot and nothing's down low. Now, they won game 1 by attacking the basket. In this fourth quarter, everything's been outside. I'm going to say it again. They have to find Jermaine O'Neal.
And Ron Artest, I think, has just fouled out.
And Rip Hamilton is causing havoc with his movement. He's running around like it's the first quarter.
That's what Michelle was talking about, the stamina, being in shape. Ron Artest is gone with 1:38 remaining in the ballgame.
You know, Brad, a lot of it is mental, too. You know, the fact that he says he's in better shape than anybody, he believes it. Look at him move around. I mean, he's the only guy right now moving around, and it's bugging some of the basic players.
He's the leading scorer for the Pistons with 18 and trying to add 2 more here. It was not Ron Artest's night tonight. Hamilton, who led the team in the loss in game 1 with 23, now has 20. And timeout, Indiana. And they're in a heap of trouble with 1:38 remaining. They trail by 6, and they can't seem to get points because those guys won't let them. Pistons trying to even things before they head home. They're 1:38 away from doing that.
In game 2. And you heard that from me. Y'all print whatever the hell y'all want. Y'all put a front page, back page, middle of the page. They will not win game 2.
Ain't no more to be said. We will win game 2.
Teammates have any react?
We will win game 2.
Those are the comments of Rasheed Wallace. We can guarantee you one thing. We'll have game 3 Wednesday night in Detroit. Our coverage starts at 7:30 Eastern time with NBA shoot-around. The draft lottery selection process will begin as well. Game 4 Friday night at Detroit. It's every other day, folks. It's as easy to remember as that. The Pacers trying to go up 2-0. They haven't lost a playoff game at home. They're 1:38 seconds away from that changing if they can't make up a 6-point deficit here. Reggie Miller trying to run Richard Hamilton ragged, but Rip stays right with him. O'Neal driving the paint and missed inside.
But I like the look. They got it to him, not as deep on the post as he wanted to get it, but he got all the way to the basket.
Chauncey Billups just double dribbled out the middle of the floor. That's a huge turnover.
That's a huge turnover.
An unforced one.
No, he didn't touch it. They're saying that it was a double dribble because it did look like that he was reaching to touch it, but he never touched it.
Closing in on a minute. And now it's Hamilton again chasing Miller. That's 5 on Rip Hamilton.
When you're looking at Larry Brown, and this is what he's complaining about right here. This is both guys tangled up. The guy who was really watching it was Jimmy Clark. The guy who was maybe out of position a little bit was Tom Washington, and he made the call. That's what Larry's complaining about.
Reggie Miller, 7 for 7 from the free throw line tonight. It's his first point of the fourth quarter.
I mean, Larry is hot right now, but I got to tell you, and I'm going to say it again, this is an impossible game to officiate.
Four-point game, 1:10 left. A minute to play. 6 on the shot clock. Rasheed Wallace works baseline against Foster. Ben Wallace had his hand on it, but Tinsley came out of the pile with it. And he's hurt.
But more importantly, Reggie Miller is fouled again. The one guy you cannot foul in this game is Reggie Miller, and he's going to the line again, getting them 2 easy buckets.
Tinsley somehow snatched that away from Ben Wallace. Then he ended up in a heap. But Reggie got the ball and was fouled by Billups.
And the reason Tinsley went down is because he stepped on Ben Wallace's foot, it looked like, right there.
It is.
And turns his ankle. Not a foul, but I can guarantee you it hurts. The bigger play is that's the second time that Reggie Miller is being allowed to go to the line without any clock moving.
As you'd expect, he got them both. 2-point game, 45 left. Hamilton trying to get free of Miller on the baseline. Gave it right back to Wallace. O'Neal blocked it. 4 on the shot clock. I don't know if Billups knows that. He lost the handle. Tinsley, Reggie Miller. And it's blocked again.
Wow. What a block.
How did Prince get there?
What a block. I didn't think it was any way possible for him to get this shot.
He's 10 rows into the crowd.
I tell you what, he laid out his entire body for this play. Brad, that is an amazing. Reggie Miller had a 5-step advantage on him. There was no way he could get to this ball.
First it was O'Neal denying Rasheed Wallace. And then in the open court looked like an easy layup for a tie. And Tayshaun Prince came out of nowhere.
It was a good block. I got to tell you, live, I thought it might be goaltending. But I think that is one of the most amazing blocks that I have ever seen. He had no chance. I'm telling you, Brad, no chance to get this ball. Wow.
Now Rip Hamilton's at the free throw line. 26 block shots tonight, the most ever by 2 teams combined in a playoff game.
See, that's good defense. That's not bad offense. I mean, every offensive player in the world would have done what Reggie Miller did. and it gets blocked out of nowhere.
This is the huge free throw of the two, and Rip Hamilton has hit every free throw he's taken tonight. And he got that one as well.
Reggie Miller and Rip Hamilton have scored the last 10 points combined for each set.
4-point game. Tayshaun Prince being congratulated for his defense.
I want you to see Tayshaun Prince right here. I mean, he's way up here. Look at the difference. There is no way he should be able to get to this shot. No way. Wow. He just laid it out.
And he laid out about 6 fans in the process.
And watch Reggie Miller kind of slow up here a little bit because he doesn't think anyone can get to it. And I tell you what, you know, we've talked about the most difficult game to call. Not to call a goaltend was a great call because it wasn't. But boy, how close can it get?
Doc, let me ask you this. Did Reggie Miller hesitate because he's thinking, I'm not only going to get this, I'm going to get it and one, and I'm going to hit the free throw?
No, you know what I thought? I thought he thought that it was no way possible
that anybody could get
anybody can get to him. I mean, he's thinking this is a layup. But there's no such thing as a layup in this game. It's been an amazing game for me to watch here defensively. Obviously, you know, the offense has not been the way you want it, but the defense has been absolutely amazing.
You said to me during one of the timeouts, I don't know how I'd coach in a game like this because they're trying everything and nothing's working.
You can see you have two of the better coaches in our league. Every single timeout, trying to create offense, just trying to create a play. They actually are getting away with it. They're calling some great plays, but the defensive rotations are better. The effort in this game is unparalleled. It's amazing.
71-67 Pistons. They're 14.6 away from going back home, tying the series at a game apiece. On the floor for the Pacers, Bender, O'Neal, Crozier, Johnson, and Reggie Miller.
And again, you're looking at the Pacers, they're down 4. Obviously, they would love to get a 3 off here, but all they want is a quick 2 and a foul. They just want to extend this game as long as they can.
Johnson to trigger it. Miller in the corner takes the long shot. It almost went in, and Rip Hamilton's got the rebound, and he's fouled.
You know, Marvin Harrison should pick up the move that Reggie Miller just made because he faked Rip Hamilton out of his shoes with that move. Reggie Miller would have been an excellent wide receiver.
That shot looked like it was going to be banked in. It hit the glass, didn't it?
You know what changed it?
Let's see if this hit the glass.
Rasheed Wallace changed this look.
It did hit the glass.
He didn't call glass.
Nope. Pistons started the night, remember when we said they were wasting opportunities from the line? At one point they were 4 out of 11. They've hit 19 of their last 21. 19 of the last 22.
It's still a 2-possession game by that missed free throw.
Hamilton's first miss of the night. 6 out of 7 from the stripe. Got the second. So 10.6 remaining. A 5-point Detroit lead. And a timeout taken by the Pacers. The play of the game may be right here. The fact that his crazy bone got hammered when he went flying into the crowd after blocking Reggie Miller's shot.
I don't think he knew he was that fast.
He covered a lot of ground in a hurry. 10.6 left. Crozier got Ben Wallace in the air, and he had a 3-rim out. Now it's Reggie Miller for 3, and neither one will go, and Detroit will go home tied 1-1 in the Eastern Conference Finals. So guarantee comes to pass. Not that it was necessarily Rasheed Wallace's big game that turned it, but Rip Hamilton's shooting did, that's for sure. And Tayshaun Prince's block at the end that determined the outcome of this one. 72-67, and we're even at a game apiece.
But Brad, he said we guarantee.
That's true.
He didn't say I guarantee.
That's a good call.
He said we guarantee.
Let's go to Michelle Tafoya.
All right, first for Tayshaun Prince. What happened on that block shot from the moment you saw Reggie on the break?
I knew that Tinsley was going to get the ball and throw it up to him, and my only goal is I was on the weak side, and I had to be the first one back. So I should have been back way before that, but good thing I got there.
And describe falling into that crowd.
I was going too fast. I couldn't slow down, but hurt my arm a little bit, but it feels good to get this win, so it'll be all right.
Yeah, what a play. Let's turn to Rip Hamilton, who had a tremendous game. Tell us what it has been like running around with Reggie Miller for 2 games.
It's been fun. It's exciting because, like I said, our games are very similar. And I try to chase him all the time. I got a little foul trouble today, but I just stayed with it. Coach told me to stay with it, and I kept playing.
Rasheed Wallace, everyone knows, guaranteed this win. How much pressure did you guys feel in the second half to deliver?
I love Rasheed to death, man. And, we all do. And we told ourselves that, that's nothing. We all in this locker room to win. And we told him we got your back. Regardless of what we do, we got your back, and we're going to do everything possible and make sure we come out here with a win.
And what kind of difference does it make heading home now, tied at 1 apiece?
Huge, huge. I mean, we think we got the best fans in the world in Detroit, and it's exciting to come here to get a win. And now we just got to go home and take care of home like we've been doing.
How tired are you?
Not tired yet. But if I'm almost tired, then I know Reggie's exhausted.
Thanks for stopping.
All right.
Back to you guys.
That's a good point. The 139 total points, the second lowest total ever in a playoff game. Detroit doesn't care. Remember when Rick Carlisle said maybe the first one into the 70s wins? He was right. 72-67 is the final. We are tied in the Eastern Conference Finals at a game apiece. And Rasheed Wallace tells the fans, I told all you all that was going to happen. And it did. Don't forget, Wednesday night, 7:30, our coverage starts. It's Game 3, Pacers and Pistons on ESPN. Sports Center coming up next. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Doc Rivers, Michelle Tafoya, and Jim Gray from Indianapolis, I'm Brad Nessler. See you Wednesday.
No more to be said. We will win Game 2.
Teammates have any reaction?